Up, up, up. Up, up, up. Up, up, up.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Up, up, up. Up, up, up. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Up, up, up. Up, up, up. No more forward, no more backward, no more spinning around and around. My life is moving ever upward. My feet are leaving the ground.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. No more downward, no more darkness, no more wondering the point of it all. My life is destined for good and greatness. My soul has answered the call. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place.
Be the change that you want to see. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the ones who will make a difference. We are the ones.
Does that work if you're not a paid employee? Good morning. How is everyone this morning? You're looking pretty good. So my name is George Melton, and I'm your host for this morning's Sunday celebration service, coming to you from our beautiful sanctuary here at the Center for Spiritual Living in beautiful Palm Springs, California, on this first Sunday where we're getting a little hint of fall in the air. So really grateful for that. If you were in Palm Springs last night, the cell blew through and it had so much energy. I just love the energy of a storm like that. So I was out under my little front porch, like watching it blow by. So we are also streaming our service on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook page. So we like to start the service by raising the energy in the room, raising the energy in your body, raising the vibration on the planet with a rousing congregational song. Today we're going to do a familiar one, Gary Lynn Floyd's One Big Family. Jeff's going to join me up here. The lyrics will be on the screen behind me. So let's all stand, and you can sing, you can dance, you can clap, whatever you need to do to get the energy moving.
Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one. One big family, hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 yeah. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one. One big family, hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. And see the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded who we've come to be. We are love, we are one. One big family, hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah.
All of you who have joined us online today, both in here and in the Coachella Valley and around the country, and all of you who have come out to be with us in person. If you are online and joining us this morning, if you go to the chat feature and just say hello and let us know where you're joining us from, and we'd really appreciate that. Now, if you're here for the first time, these two lovely ladies right here are our ushers, and they have a welcome packet that they want to hand out to you. It'll tell you a little bit about our community. So if you're here for the first time, if you'd raise your hand, we won't make you do anything funny. We'll try not to embarrass you. Okay, so welcome. No matter where you are on your spiritual path, you're welcome right here. So we like to continue the service with our mission and vision statement. So the words will be on the screen behind me. Please join with me if you would. At CSLPS, we envision a world where oneness is practiced, unity is lived, and life is practiced, empowering us to thrive individually and collectively. And of course, we do that through the teachings of science of mind and spirit and the practice of unconditional love. So the fall is upon us, and that's a very busy season for everyone, including us here at the center. So we have a lot of things for you to be aware of in the coming weeks. The Mystery Dinner Fundraiser takes place on Friday evening, October 28th. I'm going to invite one of the cast members, Patrick Sheehan, up here in costume to tell you all about it.
Thank you, partner. All right, first of all, how about all current cast members and former cast members of Mystery Dinner stand for a quick round of applause. We're looking forward to seeing you. You two back there, I know you. Come on, Jeff, Stella, Steve, Jeff. All right, who has never been to one of our Mystery Dinners? Woo, all right, okay, so we have 60 spots, 20 tickets have been sold. It means we got 40 spots left. I need y'all to help me sell some tickets. We want a full house. It's a super fun night. It's the main fundraiser of the church, and we have a great time. The theme is Western, if you can tell. And although I'm a nice guy, I play the evil Jimmy Hayward. Ooh, you're not gonna. Yeah, I know. You're not gonna like me. But it's a lot of fun. It's a 3-course meal and three acts, and it's just a great time. And it's we invite you all to be here. Please get the word out. It's what else can I say? Dress up. It's amazing food. Ticket sales in somewhere over here. Yep, over here. Chef Barry's catering, and you're all invited to dress up. It is a costume dinner. So get out your Western gear. If you don't have any, go to Revivals or Halloween City. Halloween City and Ranch Mirage, where I got this cool hat for like $15. So please come. It's super fun, and we promise a good time. It's campy. There's music. There's some great songs. We're adding a whole musical element this year. So please, please, please get the word out. Thank you.
And our favorite chef, who helps us with all of our big events here that involve food, Barry Coleman, is going to be doing the food. So you know it's going to be good. So at this time, there's also silent auction items are going to be happening the night of the mystery dinner. So we're still accepting those things for the silent auction. And Kathy Fuller, where are you, Kathy? She's going to come up and tell you a little bit more about it.
Hello, thank you. I'm assisting Lee in the silent auction. It's her birthday today, so happy birthday, Lee. We still need donations of professional services, gift items, maybe timeshares, art pieces, other valuables. And the donations are due by next Sunday. You will get a letter after the event for donation if you need that for your records. And if your item is not auctioned off, we will return it to you. Now, if you want to donate services and you don't have your own business gift certificate, we do have some blank gift certificates for you if you have services. So please see me after the service if you want to volunteer to be on the auction committee or if you need a blank gift certificate. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kathy. Okay, this is a morning of inviting people up. So the Divine Flow Retreat takes place on October 22nd. Adriana is going to come up and tell you a little bit about that.
Hello, everyone. Little Audrey is so excited to be here. So I wanted to let you know that I have these flyers over there. I just, if we need more, I can get more out. But there's a lot happening that day, and I'm just so excited. So I added the time. So it's 2 to 7:11 p.m. on October 22nd. So there's a lot of twos there. 2 signifies union, relationship with yourself, with your soul, with your essence of who you are. And it's like a pause of like all that you've accomplished thus far. And isn't that what fall's about? Just harvest, like everything that you created, because we are creators. That's what we learn here. So that's what Divine Flow is about. It's about returning to your inner child with laughter yoga. And then we do a sound bath. We'll do art therapy to kind of get our inner child going. That's what's included in the half day. So if you want the full day goddess experience, it'll include the goddess glow up. It includes the ecstatic dance, and that is amazing because we have a quantum talk that will be happening before the ecstatic dance with a Qigong master, amazing Qigong master. He was actually here for our Peace Labyrinth, and that's going to be part of the end of photo shoot ceremony, which will be walking down the labyrinth and into doing a photo shoot at the end. So it's going to be a beautiful day. And so I just really wanted to invite you all. It's a day of community healing, and it's all going to be for benefit, a good cause. Mama's House is a place where pregnant moms that are teenagers can feel safe and can have a place to be and know that they're accepted and can raise their children in a safe environment. And so that's what Mama's House is doing. And I, Audrey the Soul Whisperer, always am about giving back. So when I do my jewelry or whatever, I give 20% back to a cause. And this is the cause I want to give back. So whatever you give, know that it's going for a good cause. And also here for the center as well. So I'm just so grateful that you guys get to see this. Just go get a flyer and experience it. Yay! Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. If that's not enough, then the Rainbow Alliance Potluck Bingo takes place on Wednesday, this Wednesday, October. What? It was last week. Oh, okay. Darn. Wait a minute, let me get this straightened out here. Okay. Scratch the bingo. Sound bath with Reverend Mark Accomando. That's right. Will take place this Friday, October 21st at 6:30 p.m. This month, we will allow the mantra meditation and sounds to dissolve any perceptions of discord and separation and create space to align naturally with a profound sense of oneness. Anybody who's been to Mark's sound baths know how wonderful they are. Yoga with Bell happens every Monday morning at 9:30 a.m. here at the center. There's a suggested love donation of $15. Bereavement group with Reverend Robert and Reverend Michael meet in the chapel every Thursday morning at 10:30 a.m. Your monthly visioning is on hiatus until the beginning of the year. And finally, a celebration of life service for our beloved John Renfeather will take place here at the center on Saturday, November 5th at 11 a.m. Oh. Okay. So let me finish with John. So his memorial service will be on Saturday, November 5th at 11 a.m. Everyone is invited. Belle, did you want to say something about yoga?
Yeah, I can stay down here. Popcorn out some words. What does yoga mean? What comes to your mind? One. Stretching. Flexibility. Relaxation. Balance. Cool. Pardon me? Breath. Great. And then there's upward dog. It's really about all of this coming together in community. It's just an expression of who we already are in wholeness. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Deb. Okay, that's a lot of information to take in. So to refresh your memory, see the information table at the back of the sanctuary, see our Facebook page, our website, or the e-newsletter that comes out weekly. And that'll keep you up to date. In just a moment, Igea Grace Angel will be up here on the platform leading us in the reading and practitioner moment, the invocation. Roberta Rodriguez, we had this conversation this morning. Roberta Rodriguez is holding high watch during today's service. Reverend Eunice will deliver today's message, and as always, our practitioner will be available for one-on-one prayer in the chapel immediately after service, so take advantage of that. It's a great opportunity. Okay. So let's take a moment just to ground ourselves and shift the energy away from the doingness and the happenings into the real reason that we came here, which is to connect with one another and with the spirit within us. So just take a deep breath together, breathing in the love and the peace that is always present as we allow Mark and his flute to take us just a little deeper.
And just taking a few breaths, a few conscious breaths right now. And just to stop everything and to be here now. In this moment, sitting in this chair, as we create and co-create this sacred space. A sacred space within our own self, a place of refuge within, a center of peace. And as we quiet and still our mind and align in this peace, we tap into and align with an ancient wisdom. It's a wisdom of the ancestors. It's a wisdom that's in and through all of creation, in and through all of life. And right here, right now, at the very core and center of each of us. And just breathing into this center as we allow the sounds of the ancient sounds of the Native American flute to open us up to the ancestral wisdom. It is in this place that we open up to the wholeness that's already within us. We open up to the guidance that is always here.
How good was that? Ah. Good morning and welcome to this practitioner moment. I am EJ, a Grace Angel prayer practitioner here at the center, and it's my pleasure to be here. Today's readings are taken from the Science of Mind, pages 430, and from 365 days of the Science of Mind on page 80. Both of these are by Dr. Ernest Holmes. I always get so excited. We are told that God will forgive us after we have forgiven others. If we could work for us, if God can work for us only by working through us, then this statement of Jesus stands true and is really a statement of the law of cause and effect. We cannot afford to hold personal animosities or enmities. Enmities, that's a word I'm practicing. Enmities against the world or individual members of society. All such thoughts are outside the law and cannot be taken into the heavenly consciousness. Love alone can beget love. It is only when we have completely forgiven others that we can get a clearance in our own minds. For we are judged by the judgment with which we judge. Should I read that again? For we are judged by the judgment with which we judge. If we criticize, condemn, censure, and censure, these are the attitudes that occupy our thinking. They will not only reflect themselves outwardly, but they reflect themselves inwardly. If we want a complete clearance of our attitudes, we must forgive everything and everyone, whether we like it or not, or whether we accept it or not. This is one of the great truths of life. Not only, and I'm using could because I don't want to should on anybody, not only could we forgive others, but we could equally forgive ourselves. Until we release all of our own previous mistakes and failures, pain and suffering, we shall merely be monotonously repeating them today. It is necessary that each of us seek complete forgiveness towards both ourselves and others. Today, I affirm that I forgive everyone and am forgiven by everyone. I look forward to the future in peace and gladness and live in the present with the inner assurance of being one with all life. Breathe that in. Be with that for a few moments. Just with this in mind, just allow ourselves a moment to contemplate that. You can close your eyes, breathe it in, however it works for resonance, and reflect on any of that touched you or not. God in me, as me, is me. God is, I am. We are one. Right where I am, right where I stand, everywhere I am, I'm convinced God is the very ground of my being. What this means to me is I believe God is my life right now. And so it is my pleasure and my absolute joy to speak this grace for this day unfolding. To just know and know that I know that as God is my life, I absolutely am convinced too that it is the life of every person, every place, everything. All activity is divine right action, out picturing God is. So I bless every person who has had anything to do with today's service and more. I'm blessing Reverend Eunice as she has been revitalized and rejuvenated in her mind, body, spirit to bring the message today. And I look forward to every word, knowing that it fills us up to full and overflowing today and every day. How good it is to know and know that I know that as this day unfolds, all of us are blessed. All of us are blessed. And I'm grateful, and I'm just so very grateful for this and so much more. Let's anchor today's readings. Let's anchor our looking forward to the message and how it will inform and unfold. Anchoring this experience now and forevermore by just saying together, and so it is. Thank you.
I was listening to Harry Styles' song, Nothing is the Same as It Was, and I thought the world really is kind of going through an existential crisis as we try to navigate a new way of being in a ground that is constantly shifting under our feet. So Daniel Namad wrote the song, If the Race is Over. He must have been going through his own existential crisis when he wrote it, but it really spoke to me, and I'm going to sing it for you this morning. What do I do if I'm not chasing anything? What do I do if I've got everything that I need? It's a question that no one's prepared me to answer. Where do I go if I'm right where I'm supposed to be? Where do I go if wherever I am home? It's a question I'm presently wanting to answer. If the usual way doesn't work anymore, that's a void I know nothing about. What if the race is over and we've all automatically won? What if the game has ended long before it's even begun? What if the test has been taken and we're all passing again and again? If the race is over, what then? What do I say if it's all perfect anyway? What do I say if I've not dared to change anyone? It's a question I truly don't know how to answer. How do I live if my life is eternity? How do I live if I'm no longer afraid to die? It's a mystery, no one can give me the answer. If the usual way doesn't work anymore, there's no map for what life has in store. What if the race is over and we've all automatically won? What if the game is ended long before it even begun? What if the test has been taken and we're all passing again and again? If the race is over, what then? What is the purpose of time here on earth? How do I define my life and my birth? For the matter, what is my life really worth in the end? What's mine to give and what's mine to receive? What do I believe? Seems like the answers come right back to me in the end. What if the race is over and we all automatically win? What if the game is ended long before it even begins? What if the test has been taken and we're all passing again and again? If the race is over and we're all born victorious, if the race is over, what then?
Whoa. Wow. Thank you, George. That was so wonderful. Oh, my gosh. Oh, good morning, beloveds. Oh, it's so good to see you. Oh, I'm so glad to be back. Normalcy. Yes. So, this is my favorite month of the year because this month, October, like I mentioned the first time I spoke 2 weeks ago, is traditionally for me the month of prosperity, where I teach prosperity principles. And I'll always be grateful for these principles because they're a way to implement and to understand and to use our powerful teachings taught in the science of mind. And so we apply them to our prosperous living. And what I explained last time was that prosperity is not a dollar issue. It is a quality of being. As much health and wholeness and vitality and wisdom and guidance and joy and power and passion is ours for the expression. It's already here, it's around us, through us, and as us, and we are about giving way to its expression, giving way to the flow of all good. Yes? So there's nothing ever to get. It's not about acquiring, getting more, getting all the stuff. It's about releasing that divine flow of creation, and then we automatically demonstrate all the stuff. You know, seek ye first the kingdom means seek ye first the consciousness of the all good of God, and then all else is added. So that is the powerful basis of our prosperity teaching. And I want to thank Reverend Robert last week for doing such an outstanding talk. Was it not a great talk? Woo, I think it was his best talk. And he talked about giving way in terms of time, talent, and treasure. And so we're always expressing in terms of time, how we use it, and our talents, and yes, our treasures. Because what we're really demonstrating is that we can never outgive God. Oprah Winfrey is my poster child because she's always trying to outgive God. She's so service-oriented. And she's getting richer and richer. So it's really demonstrating that wonderful principle. So our monthly theme is Born to Prosper. We are born to prosper in every area of our life. And today we're going to talk specifically on one of the most powerful laws of prosperity, which is called the vacuum law of prosperity. It's about giving way to this divine flow. And we start off by anchoring just the whole big context. And I have a quote by Eric Butterworth from Spiritual Economics. And I love Eric Butterworth. He's a unity minister, or he was. I don't know if he's still walking on the earth yet, but powerful books. I have all of his books. But in spiritual economics, he writes, the word universe, in its literal meaning, is the whole of things, the basic unity of all life. In the universal realm in which you live and move and have your being, the whole of God is present at every point in space at the same time. God is always present, totally present. As a presence, you may be praying for increased supply or prosperity, but the whole of God's substance is present as a prospering presence. Know this, and you are on the way to achieving prosperity. So, truly, this means we live and move and have our beingness in this infinite field of God's goodness, in the infinite field of abundance, all things possible. And to the degree we awaken to a consciousness of abundance, we become aware of that embodied, prospering presence. To that degree, then we demonstrate automatically. We don't have to make anything happen. It just outpictures as an effect of the prospering presence that we anchor consciously in conscious. Some of us can do it unconsciously, almost by accident. But a lot of us, when you've been working with these principles, they become ingrained in who we are, and you don't even think about demonstrating. I've noticed that in my life. I had to practice back in the 70s when I first discovered these teachings. And then I could demonstrate. But now, quite frankly, I don't think about it. I just am always in the right place at the right time, reaping the right results, and it's like, I just expect it. I can't even conceive of being in lack. It's not a reality. Of course, I have compassion for those who are still awakening to this truth, because I remember when I couldn't rub two nickels together. But it has been so automatic for so long that it just is a natural occurrence to me. And so I am so committed to teaching these principles. It's like recovering smokers are on this crusade to get everybody to stop smoking. That's how I am with prosperity. I've been on a lifetime crusade to eliminate poverty thinking and thereby eliminate poverty in the world. Because truly, we live, move, and have our beingness in an infinite, opulent universe. I mean, have you ever been able to count the number of grains of sand, or the blades of grass, or the stars in the sky, or the stars in all the galaxies? It's beyond our ability to comprehend. It's so vast. So that tells me that God knows only infinite abundance. And we are here to duplicate the nature of God. We are here because we have been born to prosper. So it's about awakening to that. We know that consciousness creates. So in all thy getting, Goldsmith says, get consciousness. Why? Because consciousness creates. So we give way to this infinite flow that is always expressing into form. Spirit knows only to express into form. It's a creating activity that is omnipresent. So we are here to give way to the expression of form. That's how we prosper. We are here to activate the flow of good. So by doing that, we must give to activate. That's how you start it. You give into the flow, yes? That is evoking the law of prosperity. When the good you wish has not appeared, this is from the Dynamic Laws of Prosperity. I love this quote. When the good you wish has not appeared, it is usually because you need to release and let go of something to make room for it. New substances do not flow easily into a cluttered situation. So that's where we start when we evoke the vacuum law of prosperity. We release clutter. And it's not just physical clutter, like cleaning out our cars. If we went out to your car right now, will we see trash and empty food cartons and grocery bags and all kinds of interesting items? Or how about going into your kitchen and pulling open the drawer? Yeah? Those are evidence of physical clutter. How about your garage? You know, I thought I was fooling. See, this is how my mind works. I decluttered my house. You can pull open any drawer. It's clean now. But don't look in my garage. I can barely get my car in. I think I've done my work, but clearly I have not. Because then clutter shows up in my life as congestion, as constriction, even as health is constricted. You know? I read a lot of stories about people who have been sick, and they either had to forgive and let go of clutter by judgment, or they had to release clutter in their garage. So now that I'm coming through this roller coaster of blood pressure, I wonder if it's time to clean my garage. I know the answer. So we release clutter, we release assumptions, judgments, beliefs, we release resentments. Giving way to the flow of God's good is simply activating the law, the vacuum law of prosperity. So this is what the dynamic laws of prosperity defines as this powerful law of prosperity. It says, the vacuum law of prosperity is this: if you want greater good, greater prosperity in your life, start forming a vacuum to receive it. In other words, get rid of what you don't want to make room for what you do want. Yes? If I were going to give you $1 million and you had your hands full of pennies, tons and tons of it, could you receive anything into your hands? What do you have to do with these mounds of pennies? You have to release them so you have open hands to receive $1 billion or whatever that I'm going to put in your hands. That's how it works. That's the law of the vacuum law of prosperity. So we want to look at first releasing the clutter. So releasing the clutter, like I said, is for me cleaning out the garage. I don't know what the clutter is for you, physically, environmentally, in your space. Perhaps it's old clothes. How many of us have a closet full of clothes we cannot fit into any longer? Because someday we might lose X number of pounds and be able to wear these clothes. Because they're probably way out of style. But that doesn't matter. They were good, and I spent a lot of money for them, and I don't want to let them go because that's being wasteful, right? Whatever our excuse is, release them. Let go of your physical clutter. Second, and this is really biggie, we got to release judgments. Judgments, beliefs in lack and limitation, but primarily judgments. Well, that's the area that I'm working on right now in evoking the vacuum law of prosperity. I have to release my judgments about a certain former president. Now, I talked the good talk, but I'll tell you, my blood pressure was really stable until I watched the damn hearing. Excuse me, I shouldn't say damn. And I watched it and it went up 12 points. Immediately. There are no accidents. It wasn't the hearing. Trump doesn't know about me. He could care less. It's what I have judged about the man. And I know I shouldn't sound political, and I'm just talking about my my edge of growth here. I might be the only one. Y'all might be healed of this whole thing, or you never had it. You never got plugged in. But apparently I have work to be done. Yeah? That's evoking the law, the vacuum law of prosperity. I have to release the clutter of judgment in this area so that I can live a normal life. Makes sense to me. Some of us will just hang on, even though we can physically see that it's killing us. Because these judgments we have, because we think of them, we think they are true. Don't ask me to get rid of that. That's like asking me to kill myself. I mean, we are so interesting, and I could be the only one I'm talking about myself here. Boy, do I hang on to some of my judgments. It's time to let them go. Set myself free. Evoke the vacuum law of prosperity. Release the judgments. Third, we have to release resentments and unwillingness to forgive. But before we do that, when we know that we have released it, here's the biggie. We have to stop talking about it. I'm talking to myself here. Catherine Ponder in the Dynamic Laws of Prosperity talks about not mentioning your releasing to anyone, not mentioning your lack to anyone. Don't talk about it. Just do it. So she says, mention the apparent lack of vacuum to no one. Speaking of economic lack and limitation keeps many people in the poorhouse financially. Do not talk about hard times or the necessity for strict economy. This is the time to use your best china and silver and to eat by candlelight, even if your menu consists of only pork and beans. Almost mysteriously, new channels of supply will appear to meet your needs. We call that acting as if, don't we? We do it until it becomes embodied. It becomes embodied of who we are. But gosh, isn't it a bonding ritual to talk about the inflation right now? I mean, you could be standing in the grocery store and you can hear like 4 different conversations going on about the economy and how the inflation is ruining our lives and blah, 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 blah. So we're moving into a collective consciousness of the ain't it awful as where our economy is concerned. Do you know that? We're adding to the problem by keep talking about it. So stop talking. And once again, I'm talking to myself here. And you online, our beloveds online. This is about me, and I'm hoping that it's not about you. But if it is, join me. Join me. So the last part of releasing the clutter is releasing the clutter of resentments and judgments. Once again, I had a powerful reminder of that. When I've served 5 different churches, and I was serving a church as an assistant minister, youth minister in Oklahoma City, and years ago. And my best friends at the time were the senior ministers, which is why I went to be their youth minister, fresh out of school of ministry, and I was all idealistic and was wonderful, and I got there and things were great, and shortly thereafter, the husband, it was disclosed that he had been having an affair with the 3 most wounded women in the congregation. At the same time, mind you. Multiple, and I got so much judgment out of it. I was livid. And I left. It was a way for me to leave the nest, for one thing, and candidate for a new church in Dayton, and I went to Dayton. Meantime, my mentor, and he's passed on now, who I just love dearly, he was the original Reverend minister, Mike Baker. He was the national youth minister, taught me everything I knew. But then he was also the minister of Colorado Springs Church, really successful minister, but he told it like it is. He'd get in my face. So I moved, and I could not sell my beautiful, it was my dream house, my beautiful house in Oklahoma City. It was on a lake, was priced right, was a tri-level ranch. It was the most gorgeous home you cannot believe. You know how you have your dream house? That was my dream house. I decorated it, put hardwood floors in the kitchen and the dining room, and it was just stunning. And the house wouldn't sell. So then I thought, I'm going to call Mike Baker and have him pray, because he's like the world's greatest manifester when it comes to selling a house. So I gave it to him. He said, no problem. I've been to your home. It's lovely. It'll be gone within a week. He says, most of my houses are gone within 2 weeks, but I think yours is going to sell faster. So a month passed, wasn't sold. Mike calls me on the phone and says, I can't understand this. I have never not demonstrated. What is going on? And I said, nothing. And then he says, have you done your forgiveness work from Oklahoma City? I said, yeah, I really did practice. He goes, this is so strange. He goes, well, have you really forgiven? I says, of course, Mike. And then he says, can you see him as a divine, innocent expression of God? And this black energy came out of me, and I went, no! And then, I mean, it was amazing. And then Mike says, don't waste my time. Go do your deep healing work. Call me when you've forgiven him. And he hung up on me. Whoa. I had to sit with that. I had to do some deep forgiveness. Every time I thought I did, more stuff would come up. And I finally got to the point. My house sold within a week and a half. Just like that. This stuff works. I mean, you cannot fool the law. If I hang on to resentment, I block my flow of good. So we're always charged with doing our daily forgiveness work. I love what Dynamic Laws of Prosperity, Catherine Ponder, says about this. She says, forgiveness simply means to give for, to let go of the old ideas, feelings, and conditions, and to give something better in its place, in their place. The giving for process forms a vacuum and makes way for new good to rush in. This makes so much sense to me. And because I absolutely had to prove it in my life, I know that it works. It's worked for me, and it can work for you. So we must do our inner work. We must release continually all the clutter physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And I'll end with a final quote by Catherine Ponder. She says this, whenever you dare to form a vacuum, the substance of the universe then rushes in to fill that empty space. This applies on the spiritual, mental, and physical planes of life. Yes? Let's breathe this in now. And let us know together. Right here, right now, God is. Right here, in this moment, and in all moments, God is. And God's infinite abundance is. And God is always expressing into form. God is always creating, by means of each and every one of us, new possibilities, new demonstrations of goodness and joy and power and creativity, and all the wonderful attributes come pouring through us. It is the Father, Mother, God's good pleasure to reveal, to make visible the kingdom, the consciousness of the all good of God, because God's grace and God's goodness is our sufficiency. We live, move, and have our beingness in this infinite, opulent universe. And we are always called to express into form new possibilities, new interests, new hobbies, new expressions. That is our nature. We are born to prosper. So I bless each one on our journey of awakening to this truth that sets us free. I bless each of us as we do our inner work, creating the vacuum for greater good and even greater good. So I bless us all. I bless this beloved spiritual community as we also give way to the flow by tithing to wonderful places and offering wonderful programs. All of it is God. All of it's good. We bless it all. We're grateful for it all. And together we affirm it by saying, and so it is. Amen. Amen. Amen.
So, Gary Conway, thank you for joining us. And really, we just kind of want to know a little bit about how you found the center and what attracted you to the center in the first place.
Well, I moved here about 6 years ago, and I had been with Unity of Tustin and been with them for about 5 years. And I tried the Unity out here, and it was really not inspiring me. So I came to Science of Mind, which I had started with originally in Huntington Beach in the mid-'80s. And that was what really got me into the practice. I think Unity and Science of Mind are somewhat similar in my mind. So I came here, and it was very familiar to me. And I've kind of been a slow starter because it was so different from where I was, and I was also integrating into the community. But I've been coming for about 5 years, and I'm kind of a back row person. I sneak in and I sneak out. But most recently, I did, after the pandemic, I did the self-mastery course. And that was essentially teaching spiritual mind treatment, learning to pray, the Science of Mind way. And that was really an important move for me. I think I'd probably done it 20, 30 years ago, but I was more into visualization and affirmations back in the old days. But what was really great as a follow-up is our textbook was Living the Science of Mind. And I think in the class we only read maybe 10, 15 pages of it, and I took the book home and I started to put it on the bookshelf, and I thought, well, I really need to explore more of this. And it comes in sections of like 2 to 3 pages per topic. And I'm probably about to page 300, but that book has really opened up the floodgates of all kinds of experiences, and I feel as though I'm really learning to live better in so many ways because of first the class and then following up with the book.
And you started by telling us you were a back row kind of a guy, but I know that you are going to appear in our mystery dinner in a few weeks as Sheriff Bahart. And I'm wondering, so there are other ways to contribute, obviously, besides financially, and what kind of joy have you found in doing that?
Well, as the sheriff would say, I'm still discovering that. I was reluctant, but because it seemed as though during the announcements that they kept asking for actors, I thought I would pop in and give it a try. And I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm tapping into, I was an old musical theater guy in high school, so I'm like, I feel like I'm tapping into some of those old feelings, which it was a wonderful thing. So I'm having fun, I'm meeting more people, and I'm looking forward to the performance. Should be good.
It will be, I know. So, well, thank you for joining us. Anything else you would like to add today?
No, I think I'm just really having a good time, and I feel as though the center offers me something that helps me stay disciplined, because one thing that I know I'm not good at is discipline. So just like with working out with a trainer for my body, I need to have support and a place like this to keep me on my adventure.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us. And I look forward to seeing you in the mystery dinner on October 28th. Gary Conway, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hello?
Yeah, that's wrong.
Okay. Well, thank you, Steve, for conducting that interview. That was great. I'm Reverend Ed. I'm the chairman of the Prosperity Now program. To make this very quick, because of time is running out here, if you have not received a prosperity packet, this is what it looks like. Please raise your hand, and then maybe, Steve, you could pass them out there in the back. And in them,
Let's raise our hands.
yeah,
so we
raise
can
your
do
hand
it
if you
now.
didn't receive one.
There's
Thank you.
what,
Oh, by
3
the way,
people.
This is yours, Reverend Eunice.
Thank you.
But anyway, all right. Good. Anyway, in the packet, there's some very good information, and there is what we have as we call an intention card, and that is dealing with your treasures that you would like to share with the center, and you know that keeps the center running financially. So our goal, we have a lovely slide here for the goal. For this year, the pledge goal is $125,000, all right? And that is like 70% of the operating fees. Now, for the last week, intention cards have been coming in, and I would like to let you know now what we have collected so far from your intention cards and your generous giving.
Almost 30,000.
$29,900, okay, in 1 week. I'd like to see that double for next week, because they're coming in now quite rapidly. And I thank you for your conscious depth of thinking about all of what you learn here. And this is such a good way to make your lives magnificent and magical. Thank you.
Thank you. And if by chance you already have one filled out, you could just drop it in the basket when it comes. And know that, it's an intention. It's not a contract. It can be increased. I mean, you may get a windfall this year because of your giving. Then you can always let us know, because what it does is the collective amount we have allows our board to be more realistic in setting next year's budget. So that's the reason we do it. It just allows us to be more grounded, not airy-fairy, So, yeah.
If you have a packet and you have not taken in your intention card, I have extras.
Okay.
So if
All right.
you want an intention card, I can give you one this morning.
All right. Thank you. All right, so now it's time for our conscious intentional giving. And I don't know if it's related, but we have always been abundant. Throughout the 2 years of the pandemic, we have always broken or exceeded our, outpicturing. But the last month, we went way down. And the last month we were losing, and then last week we went way down. So I'm going, what the heck? So please, consider what you're called to give. It does, it does allow you to move into the flow. So with that in mind, take what you're about to give, put it over your heart, because that just connects it with your intention. And say these words after me. Divine love, in and through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God, as me. Thank you. And I'm going to do my credit card. Oh, you guys can join me. I didn't write a check, so I'm going to meet Mitch out at the POS and give him my debit card. Or text to give, right. Thank you for that. I forgot. So right now our ushers are going to circulate this and
join me in singing, I'm So Grateful.
Thank you.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Woohoo! So we're going to call back George, and we're going to bring our practitioners up for our final affirmation and peace song. Hi, Mitch. You've been on vacation, and Peter's been on vacation, all you world travelers. So good to have you back home. Cabo? Was it Cabo? What? Puerto Vallarta. Oh, I love that city. And Mitch was in Hawaii and then in the Washington, huh? Yeah. And hi to our beloveds. They're back in on the main line again. Lori and Jeff. Yoo-hoo. Maybe she'll do a little bit of this, no? All right. Let's close out this service. Don't forget, there's a couple of things to remember. Conscious conversation and refreshments in the cafe, prayer with practitioner. Tickets are on sale for the mystery dinner out in the foyer. And next week, we'll also
and
be
go to Mark's sound bath. It's so
Yeah.
woo-woo. And blessings to Jeff.
And also, we'll be selling tickets for Gary Lynn Floyd and Karen Drucker,
Oh,
two of
yeah.
the biggest new thought musicians in our movement. Will be here in November to do a concert and our
Blowout
Sunday
concert.
service. So we're going to be selling tickets for that next week as well.
Yay.
So let's close the service with our affirmation. If the words are on the screen there, let's do it all together.
I am at home in the heart of God.
My life is anchored in truth. I live in a consciousness of peace. I can never be separate from my source. I am living love. Hallelujah. Amen. And so to all of you who are here in person, to all of you online, we see you, we honor you, and we look forward to being with you next week. So let's stand and do the peace song. If you want to grab the hand of the person next to you and sway away. Sway away.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
kid somebody giving me a Batman toy. I said, oh boy. Then I ran and hid it. Figured I'll come back for this one. I don't have to share it with another kid. But I forgot, and I never did. And then 40 years later, I found that Batman again. I'm glad I've learned since then. Sharing is the very best part. Sharing your toys, sharing your heart. Oh no, nothing ever feels so good as giving it away, having someone to play with. Being happy isn't having your own stuff. No, no, it's sharing your love. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I remember how my neighbor never seemed to have enough to eat. Old tires on his car, old shoes on his feet. First I hesitated, wondered if I really had enough to spare. It's not that I didn't care, but I got my own worries, man, and well, life ain't fair. Then one day I made some extra tuna mac and cheese and picked up a second set of Adidas, 'cause the truth was sharing is the very best part. Sharing your good, sharing your heart. Oh no, nothing ever feels so good as giving it away, making somebody else's day. Being happy isn't having your own stuff. No, no, it's sharing your love. Well, then I met this girl. In a minute, I was hers. In a year, she was my bride. Now I've never been so sure that sharing is the very best part. Sharing your life, sharing your heart. Oh no, nothing ever feels so good as giving it away, coming home at the end of the day. Oh, being happy isn't having your own stuff. No, happiness ain't having the most stuff. Being happy isn't having more stuff. No, no, it's sharing your love. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I call that my masculinity check. It's sharing your love. Oh yeah, it's sharing your love.